Welcome to today's study of the Word. Today's lesson is called, "The Jewish Leaders Are Troubled About This Healing." Before we dive into the miraculous account in John chapter 9, verses 11 through 20, take a moment to reflect on light. In a world often clouded by doubt and tradition, Jesus reveals himself as the light of the world, challenging spiritual blindness. Let us listen to this powerful testimony. John chapter 9, verse 11. He answered and said, "A man called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, 'Go to the pool of Siloam and wash.' So I went and washed, and I received sight." In John 9, verse 11, a blind man receives his sight through Jesus' instructions to wash at the pool of Siloam. Jesus made clay and anointed the man's eyes, leading to his miraculous healing. This act symbolizes the transformative power of faith and obedience, demonstrating that Jesus' guidance can lead to extraordinary healing. The man's obedience to Jesus' instructions is a testament to the cooperative relationship between divinity and humanity in the healing process. Source is Bible Hub. 12. Then they said to him, "Where is he?" He said, "I do not know." In John 9, verse 12, the blind man, now seeing for the first time, responds to the question, "Where is he?" with, "I don't know." This simple answer reflects the man's humility and the confusion that often follows miraculous events. The verse highlights the importance of faith and the journey of recognizing Jesus as the Son of God. The man's honesty and the people's curiosity about his identity serves as a reminder of the transformative power of divine intervention in our lives. Source is scripturesavvy.com. 13. They brought him who formerly was blind to the Pharisees. In John 9, verse 13, the Pharisees bring a man who had been blind to Jesus for questioning. This act symbolizes their skepticism and desire to discredit Jesus' miracles. The man's healing and subsequent questioning highlight the tension between faith and tradition. As the Pharisees seek to uphold their authority over Jesus' teachings, this moment sets the stage for the conflict that follows, where Jesus confronts the Pharisees about their own blindness and the need for spiritual insight. Source is scriptsavvy.com. 14. Now it was a Sabbath when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. John 9, verse 14, Jesus makes a miracle on the Sabbath, healing a blind man. The Pharisees, who are religious leaders, criticize Jesus for performing this miracle on the Sabbath, which they consider a day of rest. Jesus explains that the man's blindness was not due to sin but to God's will, and that the miracle was meant to demonstrate his power. The Pharisees then excommunicate the man from the synagogue, signifies a total ban, shunning, or separation of a person from the community, highlighting their spiritual blindness and the tension between tradition and grace. Source is BibleRef.com. 15. Then the Pharisees also asked him again how he had received his sight. He said to them, "He put clay on my eyes, and I washed, and I see." In John 9, verse 15, the Pharisees questioned the man about the man's sight, asking if he received it through a miracle. The man replies that he received his sight by Jesus putting clay on his eyes, and he washes them. The Pharisees, who are religious leaders, are skeptical and want to know more about the miracle. This moment highlights the contrast between the man's faith and the Pharisees' legalistic questioning. Source is ChristianityPath.com. 16. Therefore some of the Pharisees said, "This man is not from God, because he does not keep the Sabbath." Others said, "How can a man who is a sinner do such signs?" There was a division among them. In John 9, verse 16, the Pharisees debate Jesus' identity and divine authority. Some believe he is not from God because he healed on the Sabbath, violating their strict adherence to religious laws. Others question how a sinner could perform such a miraculous sign, leading to a division among them. This verse highlights the tension between tradition and faith and the challenge of accepting Jesus as the Messiah. Source is BibleRef.com. 17. They said to the blind man again, "What do you say about him because he opened your eyes?" He said he is a prophet. In John 9, verse 17, blind man's declaration that Jesus is a prophet signifies his growing faith and understanding of Jesus' divine mission. This moment challenges the religious leader's skepticism and underscores the importance of personal testimony and faith. Source is Bible Hub. 18. But the Jews did not believe concerning him, that he had been blind and received his sight, until they called the parents of him who had received his sight. In John 9, verse 18, the Jewish leaders questioned the man's blindness and healing until they called his parents to verify the miracle. This verse illustrates their struggle to accept Jesus' miraculous power and presence among them. 19. And they asked them, saying, "Is this your son, who you say was born blind? How then does he now see?" John 9, verse 19. Unconvinced, the Pharisees summoned the parents, fearful of being expelled from the synagogue because their son had just been expelled earlier. They confirm only their son's identity and former blindness, telling the leaders to question him directly. 20. His parents answered them and said, "We know that this is our son, and that he was born blind." In John 9, verse 20. The parents of a man born blind affirmed their son's identity and his birth condition, challenging the religious leaders' skepticism and questioning. This moment underscores the importance of personal knowledge and the reliability of eyewitness testimony, setting the stage for the miraculous healing of the man. The parents' steadfastness and their truthfulness serves as a powerful reminder of the transformative power of Jesus' miracles and the significance of unwavering faith. Sources Bible Hub. I encourage you to read and study from your favorite Bible for the complete message surrounding this lesson. I welcome your questions and will give a personal response. I love reading your